Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green, manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, today taking on fictional English place Fleetwood Town. There is no such place, of course. You cannot have both a fleet and a wood in the same locale, but I'm excited to play them nonetheless in the new Plough Lane, back at our historic homeland. So, I guess something happened since the last time I recorded a Wimbly Womblys video, which is that the movie of the AFC Wimbledon story was announced. So today I'm going to tell you the whole story about that, which I've really never told anywhere else. How it came to be. But for those of you who don't know, it's just been announced that Fox 2000, the studio behind many movies, from Life of Pi to The Fault in Our Stars to Paper Towns, will also be producing a version of the AFC Wimbledon story. It's a long way from done. There's, for instance, no script. So you have to get a script, then you have to get a director, then you have to. There's a lot of steps along the way, but just getting here has been a very long journey, and so I'm excited about it and want to celebrate it. So here's what happened. Flashback to October of 14, 15. The Fault in Our Stars movie had just come out, and we were on the set of the Paper Towns movie. We hadn't started filming yet, I don't think, but we were just on the set doing like rehearsals, and there's a thing called a table read where the studio executives and everybody from the production company, Temple Hill, gets together, and they all and all the actors are there, and all the actors read their lines. And then there's a conversation about what we're excited about, what we're nervous about, that kind of thing. It was a very fun table read. I'd never actually been to one of those before, so I said it was a very fun table read, implying that I'd seen more than one, but I haven't. It's still the only one I've ever been to. It was fun though. And then at the end of it, I was talking to one of the producers of Paper Towns, Marty Bowen, who also produced The Fault in Our Stars. It wasn't on set much for either of those movies, but it is, just a guy I've come to know pretty well through this process. And I was just talking to him about Wimbledon, and he was like, "Don't you sponsor a team?" Because we were just like talking about soccer. He's a big soccer fan. He's like, "Don't you sponsor a team?" Oh, it's got to be. Oh, and somehow it isn't. I guess he was offside anyway. But that was not a good finish from Ball John Green. It's not the kind of finish we've come to expect. Ball John Green, do not raise your hand when you are in fact not open because you are offside. Only raise your hand when you are not offside. So, we were talking. He was like, yeah, a friend of mine was telling me the story of how they. So for those of you who don't know, before AFC Wimbledon was AFC Wimbledon, Wimbledon FC had an almost equally crazy underdog story. Whoa, off the post! Oh, everything turned out better than expected, which was that they rose up from the depths of non-league football and became this powerhouse despite not having a lot of great players, and won the FA Cup. And it was just an amazing, amazing underdog story when they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final. And I was like, yeah, well, like from there, their story got even crazier because then the team was moved away from them, and they had to reform and have tryouts on a public park, and they didn't have like uniforms or players or money or any of the things that we associate with football clubs. And Marty was like, that sounds like kind of a good movie. And I was like, oh yeah, it does sound like kind of a good movie. And from there, I just started telling the story to anyone who would listen. So the entire 2 months that we were on the set of the Paper Towns movie in late 2000, was it 14, Meredith? It must have been 2014. The entire time we were on the set of that movie, I just told the story over and over and over again. In fact, the director of the movie, Jake Schreier, when it was announced, I can't believe Ball John Green didn't finish that with his big, beautiful, meaty American forehead. JJ's daddy. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't let you forget who he is. That's his number one identifier as a person. It's good. You want to be a father before you're a footballer, because you're going to be a father forever. You're not going to be a footballer forever. Anyway, when the movie was finally announced, the director of Paper Towns, Jake Schreier, tweeted me congratulations, saying he'd never heard somebody tell a story 43 times with such passion. And indeed, I probably told the story 43 different times to Jake. So, yeah, I mean, I got really excited about the idea of an AFC Wimbledon movie because to me, like, it's not just about soccer. You know, the AFC Wimbledon story is also about people in the middle of their lives. Oh, ball, John Green, John Green. He gives it all for the team. Upon his mustache, we're keen. Bald John Green, John Green. Never leave that guy in space because he is a finisher. Look at that. I mean, just, that is beautiful, Meredith. He kicked that ball like he was a leaping gazelle. Oh, it's gorgeous. Everything is beautiful and nothing hurts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at him. Just look at him. He's gorgeous. He's had 10 goals this season. People thought he was washed up. People thought he was past his prime. I heard that over and over again from Wimbly Wombly fans. Our only goal scorer is Akinfenwa, they would say. No, sir. Ball John Green's got a future. He may be 31 years old. He may be a father. He may have come through the TARDIS with yet a different mustache than the previous time, but he is a finisher. You can't stop a finisher. He's a career-long, relentless, gold-plated goal scorer, and I love him. I love him as a person. I love him as a player. I love everything about him. Moving on. So, right. So I told the story over and over and over again. I told it to Nat Wolff. I told it to people at Fox 2000. I told it everywhere I would go whenever I would talk to movie people. And they would be like, well, what do you dream about doing next? I would be like, well, it's going to sound a little weird, but this. Then I had a chance to get there, Akinfenwa off the post. Oh, it's frustrating. I had a chance to pitch the studio. So like after the whole process of Paper Town's filming and editing and everything had ended, I got to go in and pitch Elizabeth Gabler and Aaron Siminoff at Fox 2000. I had a PowerPoint and everything. Rosianna and I had prepared this whole PowerPoint and this whole pitch. And because, like I was saying earlier before Bald John Green scored, to me it isn't just a sports story. It's a story about a bunch of people who in the middle of their lives have a thing, like a community asset that's important to them, taken away from them. And in the process of trying to rebuild it, you know, they find a new meaning to their lives. And that's something that we've all kind of dreamt of, I think. It's like, what if you could have a productive midlife crisis? You know, like, what if instead of midlife crisis being associated with something negative, you had this really positive, life-affirming experience in the middle of your life that brought new meaning to it and a stronger community. So where, you know, a moment of loss becomes a moment of, oh God, that was a terrible pass. A moment of loss becomes, you know, this process. Through this process of healing that loss, you find, you know, a new meaning and a new community that's stronger than it was before. That's not in any way to minimize the injustice of what happened to Wimbledon, but I think they have so much to be proud of in the way that they've rebuilt their club and kept that community alive. And so I pitched it like that, you know, talking about all the different people who've been involved. Oh my goodness. Akinfenwa just did a cartwheel, Meredith. That's how beautiful that goal was. He weighs 652 pounds. He just did a cartwheel. I believe in English terms, that's 8 stone. He weighs 8 stone. Look at that. He's just a finisher. Oh, he's big, he's round, he's worth 10 million pounds. Akinfenwa. The goalie tried to punch him, and Akinfenwa was like, I don't think you understand who you just punched, sir, and then headed the ball in the back of the net. It was gorgeous. He is a finisher. 12 goals in League One this season. He's our leading scorer. He's a big, mean scoring machine. Oh, I love Adebayo Akinfenwa. If I ever get married again, Meredith, I pray that it is to an Akinfenwa. I wouldn't leave Sarah, of course. You know, it would just become a plural marriage. Who are we kidding? Sarah would be thrilled. Who wouldn't want to be married to Adebayo Akinfenwa? Oh, Ball John Green desperately going in. So anyway, I told them about, you know, the people who've been associated with the club from the very beginning, the people who the players who came on board in the just in the run-up to Wimbledon getting back into the league. And it's an incredible story. It tells itself in a lot of ways. Like, it's not a story you have to pitch. It's just a story you tell, and everyone's like, really? Did that happen? And that happened? And that happened? So anyway, it was really fun to pitch it. And then Elizabeth Gabler at Fox 2000 was like, yeah, let's do it. And 11 short months later, we got it done. So then, of course, there was the matter of going to the club and pitching everyone at the club the idea. And that, I mean, it was really important to me that we have not like a few people or, a majority of the people who were involved in the early formation of the club, but as many people as possible, because I didn't want to do a movie unless, there was going to be really broad support from the community. Like, frankly, on every level, like my relationship with AFC Wimbledon is more important to me than my relationship with like, movies. So I didn't want to do it unless it was something that other people were also excited about and that, everybody at the club was excited about. So we talked to the CEO and Ivor Heller, the head of the who still is the head of the commercial director for the club and one of the club's co-founders, and lots of other people. And in that and it was a slow process because we all wanted to be really careful and make sure we were on the same page. So I wrote pitches and stuff to show them, and it was. I'm glad that we went through that process together before any of this like stuff got announced, because it means that we're all really excited, and like I at least feel like there was a lot of. It was really gratifying. I was really nervous, to be honest, when it was first announced, because there are a lot of like AFC Wimbledon supporters who didn't know about the deal, just because there's a lot of AFC Wimbledon supporters out there. Oh my God, how did you not finish in that situation? Of all the places you could have passed. Oh boy, it was almost a third goal for AFC Wimbledon. Would have been great to win 3-0, but I'll take a 2-0 victory any day with a clean sheet. Are you kidding? Clean sheets have been hard to come by of late. Yeah, so anyway, there were lots of people who didn't, of course, like couldn't know about it until it was announced, because there's, thousands and thousands of AFC Wimbledon fans around the world. But they were all really supportive, at least everyone I saw talking about it online was really supportive. And now, begins the hard work. Like, now begins the process of finding a script that we can all be proud of, and then finding a director who understands the story and understands why it's what makes it special, what makes it unlike any other soccer team in history, and then finding a way to like tell that story well. I'm really by the way, I'll try to be in comments to answer any questions that you might have about it. Obviously we're still in the early stages, but I think the story of how AFC Wimbledon came to be is like, if it were in a movie, people would be like, are you kidding me? Like, surely that isn't how it actually happened. But it is. Like, it is. Oh! Get it, Henri? Oh, that was a terrible shot. Ginger Henri with a disappointing shot. Been wanting to sing his Ginger Henri as a soul song for months now, and he just hasn't quite delivered as a central midfielder. So yeah, I'll try to be in comments to answer your questions, but that is the story of how we came to be working on the AFC Wimbledon movie. A lot can go wrong in the movie world, but I'll keep you updated, and we'll hope to sort of go from place to place and from step to step and get a movie going. It's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited. Also exciting, we beat Fleetwood Town. Suck it, Fleetwood. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.